Hey 5th grade, this is Miss Reeser here. Today your lesson is lesson 8, and we're talking about subject-verb agreement and some exceptions to that rule. So, I think we've already talked about this, but just to refresh your memory, picture a sentence kind of like a seesaw, all right? The subject of the sentence is on one end, and the verb of the sentence is on the other end, okay? Because the subject and the verb are like the foundation of our sentence. And the subject and verb need to be balanced, or the rest of the sentence gets messed up, okay? So picture if you have a singular subject on one end of the seesaw and have a plural verb on the other end, your seesaw is going to go like this, okay? And if you have a singular verb but a plural subject, then your seesaw is going to go like this. So we don't want that. We want our seesaw to be balanced. So if we have a singular subject on one end of our seesaw, we need to have a singular verb on the other end. And if we have a plural subject on one end of our seesaw, we need to have a plural verb on the other end. All right? So that's the rule with subject-verb agreement. If it's a singular subject, has to be a singular verb. If it's a plural subject, has to be a plural verb. All right? But there is an exception, all right? Sometimes I say English rules were made to be broken, or it seems like every English rule has an exception to be made. And this rule has an exception, okay? You and I are exceptions to that rule, okay? They are backward from what you're supposed to do. You and I are singular. Well, you can be plural, but when you is singular and I, then you use plural verbs with them, okay? So notice here, I say I have. Have is a plural verb. If I would use a singular verb, it would be I has something. All right, that's incorrect. Instead, I use a plural verb with the pronoun I. I have. All right, and the same thing with, and same thing down here. I work. If it would be using a singular subject, I would say a singular verb. I would say I works. Excuse me. And over here to you, you are. Are is a plural verb, okay? If we would use a singular verb with this, we would say you is, and we know that's not right. And you play. Play is a plural verb. So, the pronouns I and you are exceptions to our rule up here. But remember, I and you are the only exceptions that you need to worry about at this point. So, otherwise, follow this rule, the subject-verb balance rule. But remember that I and you are exceptions to that, and even though they are plural, they need to be used as singular. Even though they're singular, they need to be used with plural verbs. And now we have an exception to the exception. All right, so we have the rule up here. We have an exception to that rule, and now we have another exception to the exception. All right, so hopefully sticking with me and not getting too confused. So the verbs was and am are not plural verbs, okay? And these are the only two verbs that are not plural that you will use with I, all right? So you don't say I were at the store. You say I was at the store. Was is a singular verb. You don't say I is 21. You say I am 21, all right? So I was and I am are exceptions to this rule here, that you need to use a plural verb with the pronoun I, right? I was and I am are singular, but that's the only exception to use, okay? So that is your lesson for today's 5th grade. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you're going well. Feel free to give me any feedback. If I could be doing something better or explaining things more clearly, let me know, and I'd be happy to change that for you. Or I'd love to just hear from you for any reason. So, hope you have a great day, 5th grade, and I will see you tomorrow.